Hello, hello, hello. It is Wednesday, it's 12:30 and it's Making Sales Easy Facebook Live. Welcome if you are here. I am going to talk today about something that so many small business owners struggle with, and that is getting around to your sales activities. How do you squeeze it in when you are busy doing so much stuff? Because there is always so much stuff to do as a business owner. And I guess probably stuff that you enjoy maybe more than you do the sales bit. Because if my experience is correct, then 95% of the business owners that I meet really don't relish the sales stuff. So if that's you and you do struggle with fitting it in, then this Facebook Live is really going to be helpful to you. So this is, the Facebook Live here is only 10 minutes. It's really quick, sharp, easy for you to take action. And I will answer any questions if you leave questions in the comments below. So please, as you think of them, jot them in a comment and I will respond after the Facebook Live. Now, when we did our survey in this group, this was the second biggest challenge for members of this group. And I want to really start this Facebook Live with a question to you. And it's a question that I posed in the group yesterday, is on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being that sales is absolutely crucial to your business. New sales, new customers is absolutely crucial to your business. That 1 being crucial and 10 being low priority, where would you say that you are? So just answer that in your head. Now, my second question is, what level of priority do you give your sales activity on a scale of 1 to 10? Like, do you give your sales activity number 1 priority? It's like top priority. You do that before anything else. Or do you give it a 10, which is a low priority, that lots of other stuff comes before it? Now, if you have a difference between the number to your first question and the number to your second question, then you have an issue, especially if the answer to the first question is a 1 and the sales activity priority is low. It's like a 10 or a 9 or an 8, because you cannot grow your business unless you give your sales activity a top priority billing. It's got to be the most important thing that you think about all of the time. And it's not good enough to think about, I wish I had more sales, or I wish I had more referrals, or I wish people would buy more, I wish people would spend this kind of money. It's not about giving it that priority. It's about, what can I do to make this happen? I have an acronym that I use. I use it a lot, and if you've seen me speak, you've probably heard me use this, and it's IPA, income producing activity. In order for you to generate sales in your business, you must do enough IPA, at least an hour a day. And I would say between 1 and 3 hours a day is absolutely ideal to generate business. Now, if you are doing less than an hour a day in sales generation, then what I can tell you is you might as well not bother. You might as well just sit back and wait for the email to come in or the phone to ring, because literally less than an hour a day is not enough, and you have to do something every day. So even if one day you might do an hour, and the next day you might only do half an hour, then do an hour and a half the day after. And some of you might be wondering, what the hell is IPA? What is income producing activity? And for me, it's anything that starts a relationship. So it's like from the start of that connection right the way through to when somebody says, yes, I want to buy. So things like writing emails, or maybe blogs and circulating, being on social media, connecting with people on LinkedIn, going to networking events, anything that starts a relationship, speaking gigs, you know, that kind of thing is all IPA. And when you consider that you have typically 8 hours in a day to do stuff, allocating an hour is literally nothing. And if you don't do that, then you cannot get regular flow of sales into your business. So ask yourself this question really. If you are going to do some sales activity, when for you would be the best time of day to do it? And you know, if you're doing nothing or very little and you think an hour is a bit too much for you, then start off with doing 15 minutes a day until you feel totally comfortable. Then do a bit more and a bit more until you work your way up. What I probably think will happen is when you start doing it, then probably you'll get into momentum and it will be really easy for you to do an hour. But you have to exercise that muscle. It's like any form of either mental or physical exertion. At first it seems quite hard, but after a while it becomes really easy. For those of you that go to the gym, you'll know exactly what I mean. When you do an exercise for the first time, you might be really stiff and think, oh God, that's so hard. But you know, within a week of doing that exercise, you realise that you're getting stronger and then you can do more and you're not aching. You can walk up the stairs again and you can do those things that you thought were quite difficult. Suddenly they become easy. And I guess for me, it's really important to say that everything that you do in life now that you find easy, you would have done for the first time in your life at some point, and maybe it wasn't so natural then. So make this easy for you. Make it easy for you to do this hour a day. And there's so much you could do in that hour that could be fun. It's not just about picking up the phone and speaking to people you don't know, because there are other ways of doing that, and I've talked about that in other Facebook Lives and on other webinars. But for today, I want you to identify when would be a really great time for you to do this sales activity. Is it better for you to start the day with it before you get stuck into other stuff? Is it best for you to do it at night? Because, you know, you can do your sales activity whenever works for you. You know, it's really, the easier you make it, the more likely you are to do it. So, put it in your diary so that it gets blocked out, so that you know. You know, I, at the end of each day, work out what my priorities are for the next day. And in that will always be some kind of IPA, whether it's following up a proposal or doing a proposal or doing some email copies. There's always some kind of IPA in there. So make it a priority to do that. Put it in your diary. Make it non-negotiable. If somebody says, oh, do you want to meet for a coffee, or do you want to do X, Y, and Z? Do you want to do this or do that? And it's at the time you do your sales activity, say, well, I can't do it at 9 o'clock, but I can do it at 10. You know, be flexible. And of course, if that meeting is IPA, then get yourself there and just do your other IPA later on in the day, or maybe that was your IPA for the day. You know, this isn't about doing stuff that's really uncomfortable. It's about doing little every day so that you exercise that muscle. Put yourself back on track. Put yourself in the position where you are controlling what comes in. And the great thing before I close is always measure. if your IPA is working for you. If what you are doing is generating new relationships, is warming up those relationships, is generating referrals and leads, then you are really on the right track, and you just keep doing more. If it's not, tweak it or drop it. Anyway, that's enough from me. Oh, one really important bit is always pat yourself on the back. Every time you do some IPA, recognise that you've done something really amazing and brilliant, and it's the biggest contribution you can make to your business. So until next week, I hope you've got lots of tips. If you've got any questions, jot them down and I will answer them after the Facebook Live. It is now 12:29. Oh, sorry, 39. I should put my glasses on, really. It's 12:39, so I've managed to get in before my 10-minute target. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great rest of the week. And I will see you next Wednesday for Facebook Live. Topic of which is unknown, which is very usual for me. I'll probably decide the day before, but if you've got any topics you particularly want me to cover, then just jot them down and I will cover them next time. Take care, everyone. Bye for now. Bye.